So
What's up?
I'm getting it started up, right? Getting it on my phone so that I can watch the chat, like we always do. And did you know now you can put people in timeouts for different amounts of time? So you can go
I know
like
you
10
can put
seconds.
people in timeout.
Did you know you can go like 10 seconds all the way to 24 hours now? I mean, so I could just put somebody in timeout for 24 hours. Just 24-hour timeout. Yeah, I would be careful. Christina's got her hands already probably on the timeout for 24
She's
hours.
pretty well on it.
She's probably already on it. She's like, I got you. They're gonna let me do decide the amount of time that you get put in timeout. Oh, that is too funny. How you been doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Just staying busy. Finally, happy it's the last week of this freaking class I got to take. But
What do you mean?
my classes are only 7-week classes,
Right.
so this is
I don't,
this is week 7. So
so
I
are they
got
supposed to be 7 or 12?
the classes
Right.
7.
What are they
Um,
typically?
I'd say majority of the classes with Wilmington University is 7. There's some classes like English class and some math classes that I have to take that are like a full 14 weeks. But
14 weeks. There you go. I couldn't remember what a full I was trying to remember. I was for some reason 12 was in my brain. It was a 12-week schedule.
yeah, so it just be you just have the week
14-week
in
schedule.
between. So
Yeah.
like next week I'm off before I start my next class. Next 7 weeks and go from there. But yeah. Other than that, I haven't really been. It was kind of a quiet weekend last weekend. We did book. I will actually be back at staying at Disney on um at the end of the month, Halloween week, the weekend before Halloween. It's the youngest birthday, and we always give our kids an opportunity, being that we live so close to Disney. We give them, because birthdays, we don't always do stuff at the house because it just takes so much with cleaning and
Right.
getting ready and
Yeah,
stuff
for
like
sure.
that. So, we give the kids an option. Typically, we give them option of either they want to do a birthday party with friends or they want to go stay at Disney for the weekend. And like my oldest last time picked, a birthday party with friends. We went to Sky Zone, had the birthday party there. My youngest decided she wants to go to Disney. So we booked into Port Orleans French Quarter. So I'll definitely have I know I've already done a resort tour. Maybe I'll do an updated one. Definitely do a room tour this time, and probably some food, because the food over at that location is probably some of my favorite.
Why haven't you done a hunt for Mickey Mouse yet? I'm so
Just no
confused.
time.
What do
No
you mean no
time.
time? You're killing me. No time for what?
Just don't have time.
Why haven't you done a Sword in the Stone video for me?
I again, it's just down to
Look,
time
just say
and
you don't
whether.
like me. That's just be like I don't like
Not
you.
not at all. I think it's great ideas. It just comes down to time, and for something like that, I want to be able to go out probably by myself and go film. But the problem we have right now in our situation is, I try to work a decent amount, so I go into work at like 3:30, 4 o'clock now, and I have to leave at a certain time to go pick up the kids. So then my wife doesn't get off of work. She works at home, but she doesn't get off work till like 7 o'clock. So I got to make sure kids are fed, stuff like that. So by the time she gets off of work, we're having dinner, or at least she's having dinner, and then I'm ready to hang upstairs to shower and go to bed. So just no time lately, and we have a small little thing to do this weekend. Other than that, it's I think these small little trips with the family and stuff have been more about it. But I think I'd love those ideas. You've come up with some fantastic ideas, but I think I've said it before.
Just so you hate me. It's
It's
okay.
one thing to film in the parks when you're with the family, because to
Yep.
me there's sometimes a little bit more stress when I'm there with the family, because I want to film something real quick and want to then focus on family time. Whereas if I go there by myself, that's my only focus, is to film.
Right.
Um, so it's just the lack of time.
All right, I get it. You hate me. So maybe one day I'll see like the Sword in the Stone video that I really want to see. It's been a long time coming.
Well,
I
I think my daughter did say we let her also pick which park, because we mainly go to one park on the full day, and she picked Studio. So I told her we may be on the hunt for Grogu, because she loves Grogu. And so Mandalorian does wander around Galaxy's Edge. So it's like I told her we may be on the hunt for Mando.
Mando, it is. I thought today we would go back over the New York stuff that's going to be coming up here soon. We all know that that's happening what in a week or something like that. It's all happening pretty fast. I think this should be the last one before it happens. Um, we have some really cool stuff to go over today. Some Back to the Future stuff, some Atari stuff, some pop stuff, some pop
Oh,
culture stuff. I look, we have lots of really cool stuff to go over today, so it's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna jump like right into some crazy stuff here in a minute. Is that a die-cast Mickey?
it is. I've got it.
Die-cast Mickey. Here, let's hit that chat up real quick, and then you can show that off. Let's
Yeah,
let's
finally,
let's see that
and
we
it
got the
came in on
perfect
the
look.
day after, of course, of our last show. But so in the chat early, we have Miss Christina
Mrs.
Payne. What's going on?
Payne is in
Appreciate you
the
stopping by.
house. What is
We've
going
got
on?
Mr. Zach Bonifer in the house. What's going on, buddy? Of course, he's got his Al Bundy poke hide number 33 jersey on his icon. We've got
Wayneko is in the house today. What's going on, Wayne?
I skipped over that one. We've got Quick Draw McGraw. What's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping on by. We've got April Holmes. What's going on? Appreciate
April's
you
in the house
stopping
today.
on by.
Thank you.
We've got Mr. Simon Crook representing the Great White North over in Canada. We got Mr. Simon Cook, and that's where we're at so far. I know there's a lot more people in there. You just haven't made a comment, and that's cool. Make a comment. We'll get you up on there.
I made a comment and you didn't get me up there, so I'm not trying to hear you at this moment. Check this out. So I think me and you have said for a really long time that Funko needed to do something different with their NFTs, right? We said that it would have been cooler if Funko would have made their pops where they were a redeemable NFT, right? You buy this pop and it's a limited edition pop, and this pop comes with a limited edition NFT, right? We've made this statement over and
Multiple
over.
times.
I even think that we thought when they were coming out with the NFTs, that was the direction that they were heading, right? I think that
Yeah.
me and you both thought that that was the direction. I think it's fair to say that we both like made that assumption, right? That
I would agree.
this must be what's happening, right? They're coming out with NFTs. Zach, before you say that, listen, hear me out, because I think this is going to be a little bit cooler to maybe a little bit of people, maybe not so much the other people. Funko has listened, I think, to the community long enough, and they are now going to do a physical buy. Check this out. Check this out. This is interesting, and I think this just dropped today, which is always kind of funny because I think a lot of times when we do our show drops on the day that like Funko like releases news and things. It's really weird how that happened. So it somehow happened on the day that we do Friday. So Funko and Marvel have teamed up with VV. Have you ever heard of VV?
Yes, I have. Don't know where I've heard of it, but yes, I have heard of it.
I think me and you've actually talked about this on here. So VV is a site that you can go to that does NFTs. They do digital comic books.
Wait, I
They
think they have the exclusive rights for Disney.
they do.
Or-
They have the exclusive rights for Disney NFTs, Marvel NFTs, all of that good stuff. So they've teamed up with VV, and they're going to be coming out with, check this out. This is going to be mind blowing. They're coming out with a Iron Man. It's going to be a physical Funko Gold. Now I know that we all feel like
We
Funko
did
Gold
see
is
something
garbage.
about this last week. We saw the different outfits.
Right. So we seen the outfits were released last week, but Funko just kind of announced what they were doing with it. Remember, we looked at the outfits and we were like, "Oh man, that's kind of lame. They're gonna have all these different ones. There's a really high odds of getting them." And they weren't really like explained as to what was going on. So they're going to have a redeemable. All it says is that it's going to have an NFT component with it. It doesn't. They're kind of vague on the way that they described it. It just says an NFT component, right? It doesn't necessarily say what the component is. This box is really pricey to me on the world of Funko at $150, but I think that has something to do with the fact that they've teamed up with VV and it's going to have some kind of Marvel is what I'm assuming NFT, because it says they've teamed up with Marvel and VV. So that tells me that I'm thinking that it's Iron Man, but I don't think we will know until this is really sold and it's out in the masses. This is going to be releasing October the 18th, which is right at the con time. There's only 3,000 of these boxes available. I don't know if this is the bigger gold. They make two different sizes, as you know, right? You with me?
Yeah, I am with you.
So they have two different sizes of the gold. One of them's a little bit bigger, like I think it's a 14-inch, and then one of them's that little 7-inch. So I think that this is the bigger one. The classic red suit, you have a 50% chance of getting this one. There's 1,500 of those. The silver suit has a 21% chance of getting that at 650. The gold suit is at a 15%. So you can see that the odds are getting dramatically worse as we go down at 450 pieces. The silver and black suit, which is probably my favorite, to be honest, is at 11% odds at 350 pieces. And then they have the black and gold. Now hear me out. This black and gold is limited to a 1.6% chance at 50 pieces. If you somehow get Willy Wonka's ticket and you pull this black and gold suit, you can just about guarantee that it's going to hit the $300 range that day. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
could you can just about guarantee it's going to double in price that day. And that's to say maybe the NFTs are going to be limited too. So if these NFTs are as limited as the physical copy that you're getting, it could go way up in price. And I think Funko knows that. I think Funko knows that. I'm not a huge fan of the NFTs, nor are you.
Not at all.
But this is a way that you could turn me into a fan, right? If you said that if I got the Justice Iron Metallica's Lady Justice, right, and this one's a limited 8,000 piece run at Hot Topic, and it's $25 versus $15 because it has a redeemable NFT inside, suddenly I would become an NFT fan. I mean, that would suddenly make me become an NFT fan. I mean, because now I get the physical pop and I get the NFT of the pop. It changes the game for me. And I've said that from day one that I would get behind that kind of an NFT, but I simply won't get behind the other ones. What do you think? Do you think that they're hitting a home run with this one? What are they doing?
I don't think it's a home run. I like the concept. I do like the concept. I like the idea of, with the multiple suits, stuff like that. What I don't like is, first of all, that it's gold. I'm not a big fan of the gold lineup, to be honest with you. I just the faces are just too.
None of us are, right? I mean, that's
Um,
fair to say that these things remind me a lot of those stupid VHS they have right
and
now.
and if I'm gonna poke at anything, I know people are gonna hate me for this thing. But um, if I'm looking at this truly to look at it as a, you know, other than the original red and gold, all these are not actual suits that he actually ever wore in any of the movies. Um, some of them could be stuff you find in the comics, but not very often. Again, I didn't follow Iron Man comics as much, so some people would know more than I would. But people are going to mainly base it off of movies, and they never had any of these suits in the movies other than the first one. So, as a true movie person, that's the only one I would want, and that's one that's going to be valued at the least. The other made up ones,
I
I
think
mean,
that's fair enough, though.
is going to be a
Are they
higher.
made up?
I don't know. I don't 100%. I can't 100% say they are made up because they're made up in the sense that none of these outfits are in the movies. None of them are in the movies. I can't 100% say that none of these outfits are in the comics because again, I didn't follow the Iron Man comics as much as I did other superheroes. So I don't 100%, I can't 100% with a doubt say that. But I don't know. I like the concept, and I'd like to see them continue this trend on with other things. Um, just not the gold.
Well, I think that they picked the gold because we all know it's a weak line, right? I mean, we all know without a shadow of a doubt that this is not one of Funko's strongest lines. So I think that this one was picked trying to breathe some life back into it. I'm with you on the I think it's the wrong line to do this with. I would really rather see it with the pops or maybe the sodas, but I much more prefer the pops than I would the
I would
sodas.
too.
But I would accept the sodas. This one is not one that I'll go after. I think that 150 is expensive because you can pick up the oversized. Somebody in the comments, please tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think that the 14 inch is like $49 now. I think that's where they're at right now. I could be wrong. It could be 39, but I couldn't really remember if it was 49 or 39 because Walmart doesn't carry like Funko like they used to. And to be completely honest, I called this a long time ago. Funko was messing up and they weren't getting them to stock, and Walmart just dropped them. I mean, so it that's what Walmart does. If you can't put things on their shelves, they just drop you. So I called that coming a long time ago. So that you don't really see these that much anymore at my local Walmarts unless they've just been hanging around, but I think they're $49. So if we say that he's $49, right? We're saying the NFT is then what, 100?
Yeah.
I mean, so are we thinking that the NFT is worth what kind of NFT could you have that would be $100? I mean, it would have to be crazy. At first, I thought, well, there must have multiple of these guys that are going to be in the box, right? That was my first thoughts, and then I said, well, there's only 3,000 of them, and so there can't be multiple of these guys in the box. So there's only a singular one in the box, 3,000 available. At $150 a piece, I still think that's really salty. I won't get behind it because of that. Maybe in the future, if they come down to 50, maybe that's somewhere that I would want to like have a conversation about. But right now, that still puts the NFTs way out of my reach.
Oh
Mark
yeah.
says that he's done with the gold. Yeah, I understand that. NFTs to me, Mark, have been played out. They're things that aren't any value that people added value to. An NFT to me is a lot like explaining the value of an NFT is rather difficult to people, and it's rather difficult to me because people start talking about blockchains and they start coming up with nonsense when you start talking about that. And have you ever heard the story on how? Let me see if I can explain to you how like I look at NFTs and the value of them. So, have you heard the story of the guy who goes into the jungle, right? There's a gentleman that goes into the jungle with his assistant, and he tells the tribe that I'll give you $20 for every monkey that you bring me. So
Okay.
they quickly started rounding up monkeys, and they brought him the monkeys at $20. Well, a couple of weeks goes by and no one's bringing him any more monkeys, and he says, "Hey guys, I'll tell you what. Now I'll give you $30 if you will bring me more monkeys." So then they're bringing him more monkeys, and they're bringing him more monkeys, and he says, "I've got to go out of town, but my assistant will give you $50 for each monkey when I get back." Well, there was no more monkeys to be found. So the assistant, when this gentleman leaves, tells the town or the community or the tribe, he says, "I'll tell you what, I'll sell you these monkeys back at $40 a piece, and then when he gets back, you sell them to him at 50." So the town buys all of the monkeys back at $40 a piece, and the two guys disappeared and never came back.
Okay.
That's how you get the value of an NFT.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
There's no value in them. It's a Potsy scam from the beginning. There's no value in NFTs. It's just this garbage thing that people do. Absolute garbage thing that
Looks
people
like we
do.
got a troll in there.
Do we have a troll in there? I put him in
Yeah.
timeout, but he apparently didn't
I
like
think it's a
timeout.
different name. So whoever's
No,
doing it,
this is the same one that I put in timeout.
you
Let's
might as well just ban him.
Let's see. No, I think he's interested. So let's see if I can put him in
So
timeout
I
again.
did find something real quick, and again, not all of them are in there, but I did find this. Well, the only time
I'm still a little rough. Thank you though.
these are different Iron Man suits that have been issued within the comics. So the red and gold, of course, have always been the most classic. The Mark II is probably your standard full silver style armor, which is his first, I guess, improvement armor.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then you
So
got
Mark II would have been after Mark One, right?
yeah, which is the Mark One was, I think, that's the original, from the cave type armor. So this was his first, sleek armor compared to that. Now, I didn't see any whiter or black. I've seen other artist renderings of white or black, but nothing actually from the comics. And as far as all gold, never can't see it. Now, this is the closest I can find for this black and gold, which is the Mark 20 Iron Man armor, and it's not the exact color layout, but this is probably your closest black. It was also nicknamed codename Python.
So I was wondering when you said so rarely does Marvel let you make anything up, or Disney, however you want to look at it. I was thinking that those had to be like legitimate suits, but I didn't know for a fact. So I wasn't going to put my opinion in something that I didn't know. But they look like they're real suits, right? I mean this looks like they're legitimate suits. And the only person I knew that could answer that for me would have been Justin, and he's not over in those comments. So
Yeah,
I didn't know it. That was
I'm,
the only way that I would have found out.
Tony has had multiple. I mean, just from this alone, from what I can see, I mean, he's had probably well over 50 different variations of suits throughout the many years. I mean, remember, he got introduced back in the 50s,
It's been a really long time, yes.
something like that.
So his favorite suit to me was still the one that looked like it was a trash can, or a 55-gallon bucket, or whatever you want to call it. And I can't
What, the
remember exactly.
original?
Yeah, the original. I want to say that it was Mark One, but I could be completely wrong. But
No, that's
I
the Mark One.
Yeah, I think the Mark One was the first one. That was always my favorite for whatever reason. It was clunky, it was stupid, it didn't make much sense. It was a really good one to me. So let's get that out of here, and then let's kind of go back over the New York stuff, because we know that the box of fun, or the box of horrors, or the box of whatever it is they're calling it, is going to be dropping this weekend. So it's this weekend, and let me scroll down there before I like screen share this real quick. It is this weekend that this one will be dropping. I think it's the 12th. So let's see. So the exclusives themselves will be dropping on Friday the 13th. And then the box of fun, I want to say, is dropping on the 12th, but I guess I gotta find it. I thought that it would just be there so that I could see it, but I guess not. Let's see. I want to say that the box is, yeah, so the box is going to be dropping on the 12th, which is that. Let's see if they have it here. For some reason, they like totally changed what they had going on for whatever reason, which really seems weird to me. They had it up there announced for a little while. I guess they decided to like unannounce it and just bring in the New York stuff. So they had the box of fun up there announced for a little while. The box of fun was supposed to drop, so it's going to be dropping on the 12th. I want to say it's going to be at 9:30 Standard Eastern Time. I even think that maybe they sent out an email, and that's where I'm getting that from, is that they sent out the email that it's going to be dropping on the 12th. And I don't think they're, what are they calling it again? They're not calling it the box of fun, the heavy metal Halloween box, or the Nightmare on Box Street, or
Yeah, I don't know.
something stupid to that effect. So this is these guys, right? Yeah,
Yep, that's
right
characters for this drop.
Pass on the box of fun. What is wrong? Don't pass on the box of fun. He said pass.
I'm passing.
What? Why?
Not interested.
What? I am concerned on all of y'all at this moment.
Nope.
So you can never pass on the box of fun. It's not allowed to pass on the box of fun. This is one of them that you're definitely going to want to like get behind if you're into the Freddies. Look, I like the Freddies a lot. So this is one of them that I go after just for the Freddies. This is the 4 guys that are supposed to be in it, but the glow variants I think are going to be like con exclusives only, and then the
Probably.
at-home version I think is going to have the non-glow version. There's going to be a lot of people get prepared in advance. There's going to be a lot of haters that are going to come out. They're going to trash it out from the very beginning. Very beginning, this one's going to get trashed out. The same people who trash it out are going to open like 15 of them on camera. So just remember that the same people that tell you how much trash it is are the same people that are going to open 15 of them. So
It's typically at least 2 channels that will be right
take the
there at the
advice with a
forefront.
grain of salt. Take the advice with a grain of salt. These things are going to be a lot of fun. This is always one of my favorite things to do. I didn't manage to get my hands on the box last year from their New York con that they did, but I'm going to try and do it this year. This year I'm going to try and get my hands on it. We know that it's coming with those Freddies, and then it's coming with these guys. It's going to be weird to see how this plays out because that's also a 1,000-piece run. So are those only going to be at the con, or are they going to be at the at-home version? There's still a lot of like questions in the air about this box in general.
Yeah.
About this box in general. But let's look
You
back.
know what would have been cooler with this though? You show all 4 of them, but typically Bitty Pops in a set of 4 always has a mystery item. And then you decided not to put a mystery item in this one. Why
They
not make
should have put a mystery item in it.
the ghost or mystery item and just not show it out?
They should have definitely put one in there. That would have been cool. If they'd have put a mystery, that would have been pretty cool. I don't know why they didn't do that. You know, Funko does weird stuff sometimes. But let's like quickly just kind of graze back over the convention pops and see what we think. So what do you think? Hot or not?
I think that was a D&D pop, I believe.
It is. It's some strange D&D thing.
I think it's going to be popular just because there are a lot of D&D, because they don't put out a ton of D&D stuff, but they have more. But I see there's always a big following for it. So about halfway, 50.
Do you think it's about 50 on that one?
Yeah.
So DC Pop says that he's seen some of the releases and it looks like there's going to be a lot of damaged boxes. I don't know. I don't know. Funko is forever trying to get it together. Let's see on the next one. What do you think? Hot or not? This is going to be a Power Rangers. What? I say this one's hot. Mm-hmm. Power Rangers cult-like following. What do we think?
Willy Wonka, maybe.
Maybe.
And then the rest of it, trash.
Oh, you're killing me. For real?
That's my honest opinion.
How about these? What do you got?
Garbage.
What?
A lot of people are gonna like him, especially Harry Potter fans. They're gonna like him because they gotta get the houses.
I'm kind of with you.
I can't stand the mashups of DC.
Bleach is gonna be hot. This one's gonna be hot for sure.
Anime typically, yeah.
I don't know why it keeps going backwards like that. So this one's gonna be okay too. This is a 4,000 piece run.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lounge fly bag. There's gonna be a lot of guys that are gonna be lounge fly collectors for a day. I say this one's pretty cool. This is Naruto. I don't know. I don't know. They'll probably make this pop again, just in a different like color. So
they'll probably like make it all diamond or something like that.
It probably won't be. Indiana Jones is not going to be hot. Wasn't hot any other year. Won't be hot this year. This one's not going to be hot either. Also trash.
The typical Star Wars collectors will buy it regardless.
So it's funny, DC Pop, did you say that? Because I bet there's a lot of people that are saying the same thing. Hey, while you're sitting there, how about hit that like little heart over there for me though? Let's see if we can help us out in the algorithm just a little bit with that heart. Why that thing's just deciding to scroll backwards is beyond me. These things are never that hot. I do, however, want that mouse this year. I'd like to have that mouse.
Avenger and
what about the Care Bear?
Care Bear now.
What?
The Care Bears have like a whole 5 goddamn villains, and nobody knows who they are. This one, if I'm going after anyone, it's gonna be this one. That's it.
That's the only one you're going after?
That's it.
That is it. You are killing me. Oh my god, I see that like this dude's just not gonna look, I'll just ban you, man. Have a great day. I tried to deal with you. There's something wrong with you. Michael, have a great day. Go hush by yourself. Dummy. So let's see. What do you think about Momo? Momo from My
My
Hero
Hero
Academia.
Academia typically does. I don't know where
This
her status as a
they've
character is.
fallen off though. For some reason, My Hero Academia has just fallen off. I don't see that one coming back. Yu-Gi-Oh, what do you think? I know there's a lot of people that are hyped about this pop.
Yeah, being a Toy Tokyo limited edition, probably. Again, I don't know what character she is. This would be
I don't
something more
either.
of a Simon Kirk knowledge. Demon Slayer is popular, so I see this going quickly.
And then we got the shared retailers. There wasn't this year's convention to me is very lackluster. I look at what they have in the lineup and I think it's just it could have been better. Like it could have been way better in all reality. Their lineup this year is really bad, and I
Well,
don't know
again,
why.
it's I mean no different of a basic product dump. I mean, do I think there's a couple pops in there that was actually possibly well thought out for this type of event? Sure. Nuggets, I think, was well thought out for this type of event. It's Halloween, it's based on that, stuff like that. Um, I think they're ones for the box, yeah, well thought out. The ones with the mask, well thought out for this type of event, but other than that, no. It's a product dump of stuff that they had that they just want to get rid of. This one again.
That's what should have been in there. You want to know what should have been in the convention? This one should have been in the convention. Why isn't this one in the convention?
Because it's fake.
Because Funko sucks.
It's an
That's why that
OnlyFans.
one
It's
is
an
in the
OnlyFans
convention.
exclusive.
It's an OnlyFans exclusive. What's wrong with you? So, do you remember last time, like the Loki came out? They came out with this like crazy cereal. Do you remember that? So
I
they
think
came out.
so.
What do you mean you think so?
I don't remember 100%.
You're killing me. How don't? What do you mean you don't remember 100%?
I don't. I
You're
don't know.
killing me. Are we even on the same channel some days?
Maybe.
Some days I don't even think like maybe we're not on the same channel. Maybe we're not on the same channel today. Are you sure we're on the same channel?
I'm pretty sure.
So check this out. The last time they like came out with Loki, they came out with this box of cereal and it was called Loki Charms, right? So they basically just took the Lucky Charms and made them a Loki Charms. They have done the same thing again. Last time I missed the Loki Charms. This time I am looking for the Loki Charms like no tomorrow. I am going to be looking for the Loki Charms with with vengeance.
I like the box. I think it's that cool. It's gotta be that hologram type of box. If I found it, I would definitely buy it. Maybe not even open it.
This tracker is finally in the house. I was wondering when about the time that I started sharing his page, he decided to pop in here. So would you here's a question. So let's say that you get the Loki charms. Would you open the box?
I don't know. Um, it depends on what you want to do out of it. I mean, to me, it's a cool display box. If anything, take the cereal out, eat the cereal, close up the box, and keep it like that. It- I'm not. Some people want to keep that stuff as possible collector's item. I'm sorry, but there's just cereal boxes just don't go up in value. If anything, maybe in the beginning, but then it plummets down quite dramatically. So I don't see there really being any long term value in cereal boxes, but it's definitely a cool display piece to put on a shelf.
So I think I'm with Mark and I think I'm with you. I think that I'm taking the cereal out and eating it. I think that I see the boxes being a collectible though, even though you don't. I see the boxes being a collectible. I don't know like what degree of a collectible, but I know that there's channels out there that do their whole channel based on like cereal.
Which
So
is,
I mean hmm?
it's just a weird concept.
I agree with you that keeping like food products for a collectible is kind of strange, but then I have to think about like shoes, right? And the amount of energy that goes into boxes. So I'm slightly disappointed that this box wasn't black with the hologram in it like that. So the last one was the Loki Charms was the black box of Lucky Charms and it actually looked like Loki instead of Lucky Charms. Um I'm slightly disappointed that the box isn't black, but I'm okay with the box not being black. I would open it. I would keep the box preserved, glue it back together, probably some Elmer's glue, and then I would put it on the shelf because I just can't see me like keeping food in a box for a rat
Yeah.
to like find and attack. That just seems ludicrous to me. But the box itself would be fun. I mean, you might even like could do it like a comic book, maybe cut just a front piece off of it and put it in a frame. I don't know. I don't know. I'd love to like hear your ideas over there though. Y'all tell me what you think. Yeah,
What?
What's that?
Zach says, the cereal never tasted good. That's Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms is fantastic.
I have to disagree. I mean, Cocoa Pebbles is my favorite. What's your favorite?
Ooh.
Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. What's your favorite cereal?
Wife and I have gone down this a couple times.
Come on, let's do it.
Lucky Charms is not in my top. Let's go to top five. Top five favorites.
Not in your top five?
No, not in my top five.
I thought we were friends.
I would probably say, top five.
What's your number two?
Number 5 is going to be shredded mini wheat.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's a solid one.
That's a good one. That's a solid one.
The number 4 is probably going to be Captain Crunch Berries.
All right, I'm with you.
Can't go wrong with
that's a good one.
Love Captain. Number 3. It's good sounds, but it brings so much memories as a kid. Some people may say it sounds dull. It's Kick cereal. Trust me.
The stuff that tastes like styrofoam.
It didn't taste like styrofoam to me.
It does taste like styrofoam.
I don't know. They had some berry kicks as a kid.
Styrofoam pops.
Friggin' awesome, but
still styrofoam.
But then I would say I know what my number 1 is. Let me remember my number 2. We went over this. Probably if I saw a list of cereals, I'd be probably more. Hold on. Let me stop at number 4 real quick. I might have to revise that real quick.
All right, so I'll give you my number 4 like real quick because this is super easy.
Go ahead.
It's going to go Cocoa Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles, Cookie Crisp, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then I'm going to come in with the Frosted Mini Wheats. I don't really know where I would go with number 5, but that's 1,000% my like number 4 lineups. Come on, I see that 3 of y'all like threw over there. Come on, there's more than 3 of y'all like chatting. Throw over there what your favorite cereal is because now I want to know.
I revised this actually real quick. So we're gonna go Frosted Mini Wheats. We're gonna go Honey Smacks.
Honey Smacks is a good one. How did I forget that?
We're gonna go Captain Crunch Berries, and then we are gonna go to me the classic Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. All right. All right.
The number 1 best cereal ever made in the world is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I can't get behind that. Not the best in the world.
That's the best cereal ever, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I definitely cannot get behind that being the best cereal on the world. I can't get behind that one. So is there, if Funko come out with an NFT, right? Could Funko come out with an NFT that you would want?
An NFT? No.
No, you don't think in a million years that they could come out with an NFT that you would want to get your hands on?
No, I mean, Andrew probably has come on and explained it NFTs to me in the best possible way that might actually even get me partially interested, but I don't know. I can't get behind the not owning the actual buying something, but not actually owning.
What was Andrew's explanation again?
I can't remember the time, but I remember when he explained it to me. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not feeling as hatred for it as I did.
Right.
It was just coming down to collectibles and stuff like that, and you could buy some packs to start with, and then you just buy your rest of your items you want for dirt cheap from other people, and things like that. But I don't know. I can't get behind it because what if that company goes down? Then all the money you just put into an NFT is just gone. I know I heard about these ones already, and if there's ever one that was going to, it would be this. But
so when I seen these today, I thought of you. I honestly, I thought of you when I seen these. The Back to the Future NFTs are going to be releasing. Listen to me. This is the part that makes no sense to me. Let me go to their like physical page though, so that we can get a little bit better look at it. And so this is just like a page that I found that was talking about them. But let me go to Funko's
And
like
and you want to know how much I love Back to the Future. I have a whole bunch of Back to the Future pops, and you know me, I've stopped really buying sodas, but there is a Marty McFly with the guitar coming out as a pop that is I'm just gonna have to buy just because it's Marty McFly.
Mr. T came out with cereal.
Back in the day, back in the 90s,
What?
something like that. Yeah, it was a Mr.
Why
T
would you
cereal.
eat Mr. T cereal?
It was one of those. It was one of more of those novelty knockoff things.
Simon, we didn't eat that in the United States. That must have been a Canadian thing.
I remember eating
That
it
must
as a
be like a
kid.
poutine thing.
Poutine cereal.
That must be like a poutine thing. We're not eating that. Anything Mr. T told me to eat, I'm not eating it. I'm gonna have to pity the fool. I'm not touching it. Nope. So this is a pretty hot like NFT lineup. Now, out of all the NFTs that I've ever seen, honestly, this one right here is one of them that I think that I could get behind. Now, there's 1,900 of these that are going to be available. You're going to have a 1.6% chance of getting this Doc 1885 with
Of
that
course,
rifle
from
in his
Back to the
hand.
Future 3, the first sighting you see of Doc in the movie when he shoots Marty McFly down after Biff Tannen tries to hang him. So a solid pop.
This is a solid 10 out of 10.
There's not a lot of Back to the Future 3 pops out there.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah, but I mean, we have to consider the source there, though, Zach. We have to
Hey,
consider the source.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure was a great. Well, more as a kid, but I remember watching that a lot as a kid for some reason.
We have to consider the source, though, when we think about it. This is the guy that was in a movie theater with the. Well, I mean, everybody is in those theaters with their pants down. He was just a celebrity that got caught doing it. Anyways, let's not dive down that rabbit hole. But anyways, this one's hot, right? 10 out
Yes,
of 10.
yeah. I even like the Back to the Future one, the first one, the Marty McFly one with the hat and the glasses. That's from, of course, Back to the Future 2.
Hold on, I think they're gonna let me turn this thing. Are they gonna let me turn this thing? No, they're not.
No,
Oh, that feature must be broke.
I'm not
It shows
surprised.
it shows that you can turn it. Let's see. No, it's not gonna let me do it. That feature must be. Oh, there we go. Hold on. So this must be that is the actual like NFT. Oh, look at that. Funko got all snazzy with this one. So I can look at the pop and the NFT themselves. So this is going to be the redeemable NFT, the legendary that you're going to get. Even this NFT is pretty hot, right?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
All right. So let's see this one again. Let's go back to this guy.
It's undercover Marty McFly. Of course, this is from Back to the Future 2, when they had to go back and try to correct the timeline. That has arguably, I can't even get the word. It has been. I've even tried to figure out the timeline from Back to the Future, and there's definitely flaws in that, but that's a different story for another day. This is great. I do like the classic undercover Marty McFly. They haven't done this one before.
So that's a really cool one to me too, right? So then this is I think this was lame. This one to me was like
It's not in a sense of they haven't done a George McFly before.
it was still lame to me. This is one of them that I felt like should have been a common, but they were like,
there, but see, there's two main versions of George McFly, and you can only do one because you got to remember the main actor that did George McFly was really only in the first movie. When he went to go do the next movie, he wanted way too much more money, so he just kind of said, "No, we're not going to do that. We have the rights to the other one, so we're going to go that route." But there was really only two versions of George McFly. There was George McFly in the past, which is this one. Well, not really the past, but was the old present before they changed the timeline, where he was kind of that nerdy, looking Oh, and actually, technically, there was three versions of George McFly. There was young George McFly, there was this George McFly, and there was older George McFly that after he sold his book, where it was more of a, and that's the George McFly I would have preferred to see. I think that was more of a classic original one, or the young one, the high school George.
I agree with DC Pops on this one. DC's coming up with some good stuff today. They should have been a 2-pack. This is going to be the
The
not
Griff.
Biff, but Griff 2015.
Griff was Biff's grandson, I believe, from the future. And he was tall. And this is the first one. Again, there's only been ever one Biff Tannen Funko Pop. I do have it up on the shelf. Being Griff, I think this is classic. But I would have, if you're going to do Griff, I would have liked to see more of the movie moments of him on the Mad Dog. That would have been pretty awesome. But that is a solid NFT image.
This is another 10 out of 10 for me. So even the NFT is pretty solid, right? So he's on his hoverboard. Is the whole batter up, very iconic part of the movie where he's gonna take out, what is this, Marty's like son or something.
No, that's Marty. That is Marty himself.
This is Marty at that moment. Okay,
Yeah.
so but he thinks this is actually the other one, right? I mean,
He thinks it's Marty's son. Yeah,
right. He thinks it's Marty's son. He's about to go like bash him. That's a really look. I like that they put their NFT so that you can actually see the NFT as well. So this is look. Let's see the NFT. Let's
this is another one that they have not really done a Lorraine before, and of course I can't remember the original actor's name. It's just escaping me at the moment, but she's had so many different versions of Lorraine. But of course, this is Lorraine Baines. So this is the high school version of Lorraine from when they went to the Enchantment Under the Sea ball. This is a great pop. This is a good version of Lorraine, and I think they could advance much. This one I'm not. This is probably the only one I don't really care for. Only because it's Freddy, but
yeah, it's gonna be Freddie Funko as Doc. I mean, I actually have this Doc
I do
pop,
too.
and this is the funny thing is, I think this is the one thing me and you can totally agree on is that I collect a lot of Back to the Future stuff.
Yeah,
I probably got 20 or so Back to the Future pops.
The
Doc
only
is
person I
one,
know that has more is Luau.
Doc is one of my favorite characters with the helmet on right there. I don't like this one. This is the one time I see a Freddy Funko and I'm like, I
Yeah,
think
I
that
don't like it.
I think they were doing too much, right? I think they hit the mark on everything they did here, right? I think every one of these guys are really cool. But then something happened between George and Lorraine, right? I think those were kind of basic. And then you get to the Freddy, and I'm like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, why did you try and recreate this part of the movie into being Freddy Funko? Like, why this part? There's so many things I think you could have like done.
Yeah, there's so many classic moments of that movie that you could have, put Freddy into. I don't think this is a solid enough one, and I don't know. I like the Doc one because
It's Doc.
it's Doc and it's a classic movie moment. I mean, I do like the whole lineup. Will I still get NFTs? No, but I definitely like the lineup, and I would love some of these pops in maybe much later in time down the secondhand, train, or if I find something somewhere. But no, I mean, there's it's solid. But I do agree with who was it that said it? I think that they should have done a Lorraine and Marty. No, Lorraine and George two-pack of the high school versions of them.
So they're going to have, it looks like 4,500, 45,000 of those all together. We know historically they don't sell out. I think this is a moment where they will sell out. They had a lot of missed opportunities though. They could have done the time machine, they could have done Einstein, they could have done, there's so much that they can do with the Back to the Future line.
You could have done old Biff as well. That would have been a good one.
So many things that I felt like they could have done that maybe we're going to see them continue to do, because I think this has been a really successful line for Funko. historically. So I think that this is gonna be the one that sells out, that hasn't sold out in a really long time. I do believe that these are gonna sell out just because Back to the Future does have a cult-like following. There's a lot of cool things that they still can do and probably are going to do at some point in the future. Like, I would love to see, like, a time machine pop ride. Maybe we've
I
already
think
seen
they
one and I just
do
missed
have one.
yeah, maybe we've already seen one and I just missed it. I would like to see that happen. There's so many scenes with Doc. I would like to have that 1885 Doc. It's gonna be fun.
The and for me, I don't know if anybody actually even knows. I don't know if I've actually even said it. My holy grail of pops that if there was ever one pop that I absolutely want, um, it's actually a Back to the Future pop. If I could ever get my hands on it, and it's probably not. It's probably some good value one. A lot of people would think it would be that. Was it that one that they did where it was the green glowing Marty McFly? No, if I could ever get my hands on, if anyone ever knows somebody's selling it for a good price, but it's the 1950s McFly with the guitar, the FYE exclusive that they had come out. That one, that's my all time. If I can get my hands on that, I'd be happy.
That one would probably be pretty cool, to be honest. I don't they did come out with the time machine. So
Yeah,
they've come out with the Marty already and the time machine. It's currently on the secondary market for like $250. So it's kind of expensive on the secondary market. I think they should redo it though. Here, I'm gonna pull up a
yeah,
picture of
because
it.
it does it's definitely was done a long time ago.
It was done a long time ago, and it has that old, like, funny pop head thing
Yeah.
going on when they were doing this, like, strange, like, rounded thing that they were doing, so there's still, like, a lot of, like, room for that one to be improved, but they did do one already, so there's that. Maybe they'll come out with a new one here soon, though, because I would like to definitely see a new one of these. Here it is, let me
Yeah, I'm
find it.
definitely part of a cult following for Back to the Future. I think it was one of the greatest movies made in my perspective. It's in definitely my top five favorite movies of all time. But yeah, anything Back to the Future. But the 1960, that's what it is. It's 602. Back to the Future 602. Marty McFly. That one.
So
If anyone ever knows if anyone's selling one, please let me know.
So that one was pretty cool. So do you remember a few weeks ago when I was talking about handmade by robots was coming out with the Chomp?
Yeah.
Do you remember me talking about that? So I had to do a little digging today and I found this Chomp that they're going to be doing here at the New York Con. So then I had to like reach out to them and be like, "Hold on, is there any way that you can buy this outside of the con?" It's not actually going to be at the convention. This is going to be on their website. It's limited to 480 pieces. It is going to be 1995. Is it on the screen? Did I throw it
You
on there?
didn't bring it up yet.
Let's throw that on there. So it's going to be on their website. So you have to go to Handmade by Robots on their website .fan, and you will be able to grab this guy from their website. Limited 450 pieces. I have not been a collector of the Handmade by Robots. I am going to be a collector though of these chomps. I think these chomps are great. I think they're super creative. These things are really cool. So you can see that there's two different versions of them. You're going to have the abominable version of him, and then you're going to have the regular chomp version of him.
I like the brown one.
I'm into the brown one myself. 1995 just doesn't seem that far off to me. I'm going to have to pick one of these up. So when I
I'm
get
gonna
one of these
I'm not mad at that price.
so when I get my hands on one of these, I'll have to like do a whole unboxing on them. So don't hate me for doing the handmade by robots. I've kind of like what they're doing. I like what they're doing. I like what they're going. I like the fact that we're starting to see some more creative stuff from them. I feel like a lot of their earlier stuff maybe wasn't that creative. It wasn't so creative that I had to have it, but I think now that some of their stuff is getting super creative.
Oh yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
Would have
Oh,
been better. Would have been better if it would have been flocked. I don't. Do you still got that Mickey? Let's see that
I
Mickey.
just realized we didn't show you if I got the chase or not.
Yeah, let me see that Mickey.
Mind you, this is my first die cast, and for some reason in my head, I was thinking these were bigger, but they're just the exact size of a Funko box. Don't know why, but there's one area, and you gotta tell me if your Captain America is the same way. But there's one part of this that I was really disappointed in. But y'all ready to see if I got I already know what I got, but if I got the chase or not. On this, remember, would you rather the chase or the common?
I'd rather have the common.
Me too. And that is what I have.
So, all of them so far, when I've seen them, I would rather have the common. I don't want that extremely lazy chase that they just don't paint. They just leave it in the die cast. It's not very good metal. It's going to turn green over time. It oxidizes into some weird light green color. It's kind of crazy how it does that.
The problem I kind of have with this, and I don't know if the Captain America's the same way, is I really wish they would have made it to where the cover
locks in place.
Locked in place.
They don't.
It's so like if you hold it by the case, that bottom's coming out.
Did you know you could take the Mickey off too?
Yeah. I mean, well, the Mickey was off when I got it. He was off, kind of separated, and you kind of had to lock him into place.
Right.
But I mean that part's solid. But I would like to see that case to be locked in to the base a little bit better than that.
I'm with you. Look, let me tell you the problem with it. When you go to pick it up now, you're going to try and pick it up by the case.
Yeah.
And it's either going to fall or slide off because the case comes right off. So you have to be careful when you're like moving it to remember that you have to grab the bottom of it or they come apart. That is a pain. That's the same way with Captain. Captain's a pain when it comes to the idea that he doesn't like to sit in there. But those boxes, to me,
the boxes are cool.
Still the coolest boxes Funko has made to date.
Yeah, definitely the etched acrylic boxes are definitely pretty cool. I mean, I do like it. Although, I mean, I guess there's a reason for it, and I can see the reason. But the back is completely empty. There is nothing on the back.
There's nothing on the back.
They definitely got the sides going. But yeah, the acrylic case is definitely something there, and it's got some good weight to it. So I'm happy with the purchase. Nonetheless, I'm glad I got it 50% off, for sure. But to me, $25 for it ain't too bad.
$25 is, I think, the right price for those. I think $25 would have been the right price from those from day one. But I think that you did okay with that one.
So I don't know where to put it on the shelf yet. So it is just going to stay in the box with all the padding around it, for now. But yeah, that, and I also got another pop in this week. I think I briefly sent it to you guys because I was actually surprised that this person actually even sent it to me. I figure I'll show you guys real quick. But here it is. I had I guess it's kind of a family friend, but kind of a distant friend as well. Someone I met through another friend, and we kind of just, we remained Facebook friends for years. And he's just one of those just overly nice guys. He bought this pop a long time ago as an investment. And I guess recently he was trying to sell it and couldn't sell it. So he said, hey, I'm just going to send it to you because I know it'll go to a good home. And that is the Mandalorian 330, the 2019 fall limited edition. And I think it's valued about $270 right now.
What's it valued at?
About $270.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I got that pop somewhere. it's sitting here somewhere.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's crazy is that I have a lot of pops that I don't know what they're worth. I never like.
I'd be surprised on a lot of mine too. I'd have no idea.
Right. So that Spider-Man that came out not too long ago, that Miles Morales, and everybody's like, do you really have that one out of the box? Yeah, it's what do you mean? It's out of the box. You're like, it's like a $250 pop, right? That's I didn't know. Didn't know that it was just so it's kind of crazy
I'm
how
not
some of
popping.
the
I'll do
pop
what I want with it. Damn it.
that's right. It's kind of crazy how some of the pops have like went up in price like that. It's really crazy how some of them went up. So check this out. You've seen, I know everybody here has seen, like, I sold that pop about a month ago. So I know that everybody's here seen like the wooden Lamborghini. So there was a guy who made a wooden Lamborghini, and then there was the guy who did the wooden Rolls Royce, I think I've seen that one on YouTube as well. So I know that I've seen the Lamborghini. I think I've seen the Rolls Royce, and I know that I've seen a Cadillac. Right? People have sat down and with their wood, and people get super creative. How people get so creative, I don't even know. But there is a guy who has made a life-size Swedish tank, an STRU 103 tank. What is going on? Haven't you always wanted a tank? Don't you just want to build a tank?
Don't want to build a tank. Being one would probably be pretty cool. I know that there's a place out here you can go drive them. But yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of time on your hands.
You think that's a lot of time on your hands? Is
That's
that too much? Is that too much time on your hands?
I think so. I do think so. I mean, I guess if that's your hobby,
Would
and,
you build a tank? I think I would build a tank if I had nothing to do.
I'm not mechanically inclined that way, anyways. I definitely I couldn't do it. I'm not ashamed to say that I could. I'm not mechanically inclined at all. I would not be able to build this. Do I think it's cool? Yeah, that thing's gonna be heavy as hell. Being it looks like it's primarily
It's
based
a
out of
tank.
wood.
It's a tank though.
So
Does it matter? It's a tank.
I would have turned at least that thing into a potato gun, to be honest with you. I think that would have been cool.
A potato gun. So that would have been cool. You're saying that if it physically worked, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been even cooler.
That would have been even cooler for sure. So that would have been even cooler. I had to throw that up there though, because that's one of those things that I came across that I had to share. I just had to
Oh,
share that
and
with
I
you.
will say that why we even brought up with that die cast with that awesome case. I may actually have to take that to Disney and get that signed.
Oh, you're thinking about getting that one signed?
I'm thinking about it.
Thinking about who? So you're gonna get Mickey to sign that one as well?
Of course.
So Funko, I guess, is getting on the Funko pop-up shops. I guess they're getting into the pop-ups, right? We all know that like that has become
It's become a
before COVID.
thing.
Say what?
Become a thing.
Before COVID, that was starting to become a big thing, right? And then COVID come along and stopped any and all
Oh yeah.
things of that nature, right? Now I think it's starting to come back out and make a new presence, and Funko has jumped right along with that. They opened up a pop-up shop in Singapore. It's an airport in somewhere over there in Asia. I don't know exactly where Singapore is, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. It's somewhere in Asia. Apparently, it's a really big airport that's extremely popular. Um, there's some look, the displays that they went through are really cool. I can't imagine like what it would be like to put something like this in an airport.
Well, we have. I don't know. It's not Funko, but I know in Orlando Airport they have pretty much every attraction type thing store. And Disney used to have a bunch. The Disney store in Orlando Airport used to have like a bunch of like setups on the outside, like figurines and stuff like that that you could take pictures of with and stuff like that. Um, so that has a whole Harry Potter Universal Studios store at the airport. So I mean that's the only place I could think of that you would and could see something like that. I don't know about other airports though. So
Do you think that we're going to start seeing pop-ups come from Funko? Because I think that this is about to start a trend with Funko, right? I mean, you can see that they basically took over a lot of square footage at this airport, and they put up a bunch of displays, a lot of pops. I don't know if they're just trying to cater to the Asian market. Maybe they're trying to build the Asian market a little bigger than it is at this moment, but there's definitely something that's going on, right? Is this something that we're going to see Funko doing more of? We know that they have the food truck or the whatever they're calling that vehicle. Are they going to start putting it out more? Is this something that's about to become big? What's going on with it?
I could see it being that into that realm. I mean, it's small, cheap, something for them that they can basically push out stuff and kind of create a store, or maybe they're even using it to as some research on top of that. Because if you do start doing pop up shops, maybe you can do some small research on areas that it may be much more successful.
How
You know,
many people you think going to an airport are going to buy a pop? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not. I've have to put this
no,
in my bag. I
yeah,
have
I would 1,000 agree with you. Especially if you're buying in the airport, you're gonna have to do the carry on, and then yeah, it the chance of you destroying that is pretty good.
So I think that in theory this is a great idea. You do a pop-up shop somewhere, people come and buy them. You have some pretty cool pops there that people are going to want to get their hands on. But the actual like it being a good idea is not a good idea. The last time I went on a trip, I didn't buy any pops because I went to Tennessee I think 3 years ago. I bought a couple of pops at a shop. I did a whole video on it. I put the pops in my bag to come home and both of the boxes of the pops just got destroyed like from there to here, right? Because they were just in my luggage with everything else.
Yeah.
And so this is it's a horrible idea in theory, but if they're just using it as a marketing ploy, like you mentioned, if that's all they're doing, if they're just trying to like get more eyes on a Funko Pop themselves, then that's a great idea. If
Yeah,
they're
I think it's also about rebranding your image a little bit. So I think that there could be something within that as well. But um, there could be multiple reasons for it. To be honest with you,
if Atari came out with a new game, would you buy it for their 1982 system? If Atari decided that they were going to start making new games for the 1982 system, is this something that you would get your hands on?
probably not.
So Atari recently made a new game for their 1982 system. I'm gonna get this pulled up and I'm gonna need y'all to like help me out and tell me what this game even is. Now, this game was limited and you could only buy it in so many. There was only
Please
so
don't
many of
tell
them
me
put
it's
out.
ET because that thing was horrible.
No, so there was only so many of these put out. Save Mary. I don't even know what Save
Don't even
Mary
remember it.
is.
I had a
Say what?
lot of Atari games as a kid. I don't remember that damn game. If I did have it, I don't. It wasn't memorable.
So Simon makes a valid point. If you're like going to your family and you need to like grab them something last minute,
Sure. Okay.
maybe that's like how you do it, but going in your bag is a horrible idea. Horrible, horrible idea. Dump all the yeah. Anyways, so they recently like the original developers of the Atari all got together and they made this new game. Now this game was limited, so you had to actually pre-order it in order to get your hands on it. There was only so many of them made. They're talking about going
Cartridge
back.
style.
Say what?
Cartridge style too.
Yeah, so it says that it took it the past 2 years to develop this one. This is a cartridge. It plays in that 2600 1982 Atari console. It seems so hard for me to believe that you could have like got your hands on this physical copy, but it was an opportunity, as they say, to get your hands on the physical copy. The nostalgia behind it, the veteran staff of Atari made it. It was only released as a physical one, and if you got it, you had the ability to get like an editor's box, which had the silver and gold collection. Look, I see why they did it, but I don't think that there is an actual market
I don't think
for
there's enough classic Atari fans. As I mean, you got to think. I mean, I could understand bringing it out a little bit because your classic Atari fans like myself, we're all in our 50s, 60s at this point. That played a lot of Atari, even ColecoVision stuff like that. I could see that that's the direct market they're aiming towards, but I mean, how many Atari 2600s are actually out there anymore? And even if you do have one, back in the day, mind you, some of you youngins, we didn't have HDMI ports or display ports. We had RF connections. that we had to hook up our video games up to that
Do
had
you
the little
think you could even still hook these things up?
no, 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 absolutely not. You might have to have. I'm sure there's some sort of converters out there that can change the RF to some sort of HDMI. I don't know, but I mean, you remember back in the day, you had to have that RF, and you had to get your screwdriver out to get the little prongs up underneath there, and you had your little switch. Yeah, it was a whole ordeal. I as far as original 2600, no, you can't hook it up to today's TVs.
Look, there has to be some kind of conversion rate. So quick
No,
draws
just
is
no. ET should never be redone. That was Atari's worst video game of all time. I mean, redo Pitfall, maybe redo. Yeah, there's so many more games.
that would be like redoing Paperboy.
Oh, don't dog on Paperboy. I
What?
spent a lot of time playing Paperboy.
What? That is
Oh,
a horrible
dude.
game.
I spent hours playing Paperboy.
Paperboy was a
Paperboy
horrible game.
Excite-Bike was another one.
Horrible game. The only game that the first real game that came out that I was into was Skate or Die. That was
Skate or Die was awesome. I will give you that. Skate or Die was pretty
Then you
awesome.
had Mike Tyson Punch Out. Why? I want Mike Tyson Punch Out. If I ever get Mike Tyson Punch Out, I will do lives of me playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I played well, no, it's a classic Punch Out. Not Mike Tyson's version, but I've got because with Nintendo Switch nowadays, you can actually go on and do the original NES and Super NES games, and you can get the classic Punch Out on there.
I think Simon just said that you can't play Duck Hunt on modern TVs. Are you?
You cannot, because the gun was based off the reflection of the glass. Back when NES came out, of course, all you guys back in the day, we didn't have flat panels. We had tube TVs basically with a glass front, and so the gun was based off. Now there has been some modified or redesigned guns that can work on it, but the original classics, no, they can't.
Are you serious?
Front. Yeah.
Well, that ruins the idea of having Duck Hunt. Why would you even want
it? Does.
Why would you want Duck Hunt if you can't
I'm pretty sure there's some newer versions out there of the gun, but yeah, NES Zapper. There has been some modified versions, I believe. So, in fact, I think you can buy it off of Amazon right now. And I do want to get to that. No, that's an original one. So, again, you're just gonna have a hard time finding them. But I did want to go over this because I think these things are incredibly awesome.
I can't believe you're not opening them yet.
This is my little bit of Disney, and I'm probably actually might even get this advent calendar. I think they did a similar one to it last year as well. But it's just a 12-day. They usually sell it inside the parks and everything. But they have started releasing some newer series, of course, for the holiday season. You got the festive fair ones. And of course, if you don't know what Munchlings are, they basically take all their different characters and they turn them into like food versions of the characters. So you got like Snowflake, Cupcake, Stitch. We've got a couple of them here at the house. We've got some big ones. In fact, that Minnie, I don't even know what she is. I can't remember. We have two big ones here at the house for it. I love the strawberry croissant Emile, the French hot chocolate Remy. I've seen these in the parks, and I have done some videos on these, even some shorts out there, and I absolutely love these. I think these things are great. Some of them do actually have the scent to them. Not all of them do, but yeah, these things are a lot of fun, and I just want to point out because they do have some new series out, but they also have just released also for I believe it's for the Halloween season. It might be a Parks exclusive, but it is a Heimlich butterfly Heimlich item. So, and of course these new gingerbread ones are new for this year. So,
I think those are all plushes, though.
They're plushes. They're not like. Well, you got the big ones that are plushes. Then you got these little small ones that come in mystery packs. Let's see, you got a little mystery on here. So you go into parks and you can get these little mystery packs as well for $14.99. The bigger plushes are usually about $30, and yeah, we've got a couple of them, and I absolutely love. I don't know why I like these. My wife likes these, all of them. But yeah, don't. they do go really quickly inside the parks. They are widely popular.
So do they? Is there a secondary market for them?
I don't know if there's a secondary market for them at all. I've never really researched in to see if there isn't there. There very well maybe.
I mean,
Um,
there should be. If they're selling out, then that's typically how that works. If they're selling out, there's typically some kind of like secondary market where these things are being sold, traded at the bare minimum. They're being traded somewhere.
um, I mean, you do have some like you got they've already got the 2023 Disney Parks Munchlin's Holiday Fair Timon Chaser selling up there for $32. You got the Dumbo one for so there's a somewhat of a secondary market up here. That one the Figment gingerbread cookies someone's already trying to sell up here for 35. So value going up in value wise, I don't know if that's there, but um, to me, this is right up there in between. Oh wow, somebody's actually selling the Heimlich one on for $100.
Oh,
It's a chocolate pinata plush Heimlich. Um, yeah, they're selling for about $100. Some of them were, and they had like during I think it was either Festival of the Arts or Flower and Garden. No, Flower and Garden. They had a Figment Fig Newton um, Munchlin. So they are up there, and those ones I know had gone pretty quickly. Especially the exclusive ones. So and some of them you can only get in the parks. You
so
can't.
are we going to see you unpacking munchkins?
I should. I mean, I like I said, we have gotten them before, and then I should probably go get some mystery box ones. My kids love them. They have multiple mysteries. Although, what's funny is sometimes my wife's gotten pretty good because they do it where they're in the box plus they're in a bag, and the small ones are all scented. So the small ones have scent to them. Some of the big ones do, but the small ones do. And my kids will actually sit there and try to crack it open to try to smell which one.
They're
Uh
trying to smell it.
huh.
They're like, no, 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 we don't want this one.
So,
That is
but if you go
funny.
into the parks anytime soon, there's particular characters you like, especially that Stitch. I know that Stitch. Stitch has a cult following, so I see that Stitch going pretty quickly. We might even have to have that one in the house because my kids love Stitch. So, but yeah, these things are pretty cool, and they are doing the advent calendar for this year. So this is probably another one I am going to be buying when that comes out.
Well, they
So
also sell those little miniature figures at the stores. I can't remember what they're called, Popsies or I think they're called Popsies, right? The little bitty like Disney characters that are like yay big. They look like a mini like Funko, except they're probably cuter than like a mini Funko. I can't
well,
remember
they
what
do
they're
all kinds of mystery boxes of items from pins to small figures to Munchlin stuff like that. I know they're not Popsies. I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of them right now.
Yeah, I can't
Um,
really remember the name of them either, but I know that they make these little like these little bitty guys, right? They're the Doorables.
oh yeah, the Dorbles.
Doorables, that's it, the Doorables. They make these little bitty light guys. I can't believe you haven't been unboxing those, to be honest with you, because those things look super cool. I know maybe there's not a huge secondary market for it, but I know that there has to be some
I
people
just
out
think
there
they're
that just
super cool, and they're. I mean, those Doorables. I agree with you. Those Doorables are actually really really cool.
they're really cool. I
I
can't
do
believe you
like
haven't
them
been
a
opening
lot.
them. I can't believe you haven't been opening them.
Yeah, I definitely got to do more unboxings. I've got my neighbor who's instigating me because he out of nowhere recently just found one of my Stitch videos that I did recently about how kind of calling out these people for doing fake Disney news type items. So now he's been feeding me other ones to like,
Ah!
oh, you got to do a thing on this one. So I don't know. I may actually start doing ones in my car during lunchtime at work and doing some recording in the car and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely it's fun to call these people out for some reason, but I definitely still agree with you on the unboxings as well. I mean, on top of it, I mean, Lorcana nonetheless. I have not
Never
got
finding
8
it.
packs of Lorcana yet, and I haven't been looking that hard since it was first released, but I would like to find some.
I'm never gonna find it. I've just about given up on finding it. Have you been watching the new Loki?
I did watch the first episode, yes.
What is this guy on the left?
That is Luke Wilson's character.
What is that?
Remember from the first series, Luke Wilson, the guy who, when Loki first gets brought to the TVA, he what the hell is his name? I can't remember his name right now. Morbius or Mobius. He's, when they're telling Loki, about that he's a, variant and all this other stuff. So he's like the gray haired guy from the show from the first season. You remember?
I don't. Other than sitting in your car next week and looking like a weirdo talking to yourself.
I'm all right with that. I look like a weirdo anyways.
What do you got going on next week?
Not much. We do got some family stuff to do this weekend. I got my class to finish up.
Your daughter's birthday coming up.
We got the daughter's birthday, so that'll definitely be some filming. I still have to finish getting some new attachments. Since I'm kind of, I haven't really done any new filming with this new iPhone 15 that I got at all yet, but I'm finishing getting some attachments for like my mic, because of course it's a new plug at the bottom. I can't use any of my old lightning cable plugs. So got to finish getting that ready before we do the go and stuff like that. And I might even get one of those new. I'm interested because I use a gimbal a lot of times when I'm in the parks, but sometimes it's kind of annoying to get the gimbal out. So you had encouraged me. I may get one of those
double-handed things.
Yeah, the double-handed items.
One of my favorite ones.
Well, and I when we ever go to the parks, when I do film, my wife got me this. I don't have it handy by any means, but she got me this really cool camera bag, backpack. So I fit all my little accessories and everything in there. So I'm prepared for pretty much just about anything as far as most stuff. But I think that rack will be a lot easier.
I got to do this.
Damn!
Oh, we didn't get to play it. We had them in our intro, but
had to do it at least one time. Well, guys, this is part of the day where we're gonna get out of here. I truly appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us. We'll catch you next week. We'll be over on Chris's channel. Come hang out with us. See you next week, guys.
Later, guys.
Have a good one.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Sometimes the easiest things to do take the longest amount of time to get done. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that, but before we get out of here real quick, guys, don't forget to go check our channel memberships out. These are both very new features to Mr. TechBot and myself, but we're both very proud that we have made it to this point. So go check out our memberships. The link should be down in the description below. If it's not down in the description below, you should be able to go to any one of our videos and it'll be down in the description below. So make sure you go check that out. It's super cool, fun way to get interactive with the channel. You'll get some really cool icons, some really cool emojis you can drop over in that super chat. You can drop over there in that chat so that you can flex on everybody a little bit. And don't forget that any and all super chats will go down in the description after this video is over. Give us 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes to get it down in there. I mean, we might not be able to do it right away. We've got to eat dinner and still hang out with our family, but we truly appreciate all of you guys, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good one.